Imagine a garden. Not just any garden. We're talking the best garden you can possibly imagine, times like infinity. This is not the garden you've got in your backyard or the crummy garden your neighbor's got, which is obviously not as good as yours. No, this is the best garden ever. This is a big and beautiful place. It's a place with gigantic trees, with plants, with beautiful flowers. You could just stay and stare at things all day long and not get bored. You can eat of the fruits and vegetables, and they're the best things you've ever tasted in your life. This is a garden that has beautiful rivers running through it that supply water, clean water that you can drink or you can swim in. This is a place that has beautiful paths for hiking where you and your loved ones can spend time just enjoying God's creation. This is a place that is so incredible, but here's the best part. It's a place that is totally untouched by sin. There's no guilt. There's no shame. There's no hurt. Yeah, this is the Garden of Eden. This is the place where it all began. Genesis tells us that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There's no accidents here. This is God's work. Genesis 1 and 2 help us understand our relationship with God, with each other, and with the entire universe. God had created so many things, but on the sixth day, He did something that was a complete shock. He decided to create humanity, and He did something different than the rest of all the creation. Check this out in Genesis 1:26. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea, and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them. Male and female, He created them. So we're different. We're not like any other created being, for we were made in the image of God. It's like God looked in the mirror, saw His reflection, and made a little different version of Himself. Now, less powerful, not fully God, of course, we're human, but God created us in His own image. So we have the ability to do things that no other created being has. We have the ability to relate to one another, to communicate, to relate to God like no other created being has. You are creative. You have wisdom that God has given you. You have responsibility that God has given you, for He put us in charge of the entire creation. God saw humans and God saw His creation, and He said that it was very good. So this is our core source of our identity. It was defined by God Himself, created by God Himself, and made in His image. That is the best possible identity you can ever imagine. Now, this belief that we hold as followers of Jesus is quite different than what a person might hold who doesn't believe in Jesus. That for us, we believe that we are created in the image of God, and our identity rests in Him. And so that means our identity is not something that we just define on our own terms. Instead, that the core framework was actually created by God. And I think that's a pretty amazing thing. We're going to talk about that in our groups today and really throughout this entire series. You know, this is one of those things where I'm sure we're going to have some disagreements among us in our groups, and that's okay. We're wrestling with some big stuff here. I just want to invite us to spend some time talking with one another, learning from each other, and most of all, keeping an open mind to whatever God has for us through this study. I'm so thankful to be on this journey together with you.